What is going on, everybody? It's recap time. I finished working early today, so I figured I would do a recap. Didn't get to do a recap Friday. Friday, I had a red day, a big red day. Lost $980 after I went and told everybody not to do what I did. I did it. I said, don't force trades. My normal spiel at the end of each live. Don't force trades. If you see the trade set up, take it. Don't over trade. Be patient, be diligent, stay balanced. I did none of that. Got caught up trading the 1 minute chart, which I probably should have got away from it once I got those gains back in my account. But nonetheless, today was a good day, a great start to the week. We made $839 to recover some of that $980 that we lost. So that's a good thing. Last week I did realize what kind of markets we were in and what kind of trades I need to be taking. So from here on out, I will be taking those trades based off of what I am seeing in the markets, conditions, like in this market cycle that we're in at this time. And so today, that's what I did. And what that involves is trading on the 3 minute and the 15 minute instead of looking at the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and the 15 and the 30. And just to get the overall, in the hour, just to get the daily and the 4 hour, of course, higher time frames, just to get the overall picture. I am only entering in on the 3 minutes. I see it set up on the 3 minute. I'm entering in on the 3 minute the same way I would on the 1 minute, but it's on the 3 minute. And in certain market conditions in a certain market cycle, I found that that works best for me. But there are other conditions where, or other market cycles, or yet market conditions where I will need to probably scout and use the 1 minute chart. But this market cycle that we're in right now is not that time. And so I had to do some adjusting. I traded today according to those adjustments and I did pretty well. Took a trade overnight to start off the day. Was up like $100, $107 or something. Then I took I believe two losses. After that, I took some losing trades and I was down. I think I ended the stream down I don't even know, up or down $20, whatever it was, basically break even, somewhere around scratch. I was long. I opened up with a long bias, and so actually what it was I was in one contract from overnight. I added here and or somewhere I added somewhere here. By the time we got to the top of this, I was $200 in profit. I moved my stop loss up so that just in case it wanted to flush, it did flush, and it only gave me like $30 because it flushed so fast, so quickly. Unless I was down, I don't know. I could have swore I was up, but nonetheless, I took that trade and then I was up $132 after that. And I'm pretty sure I was up $100 before that because that was the only trade because I look back, that was the only trade that I had taken. And so some pretty nasty slippage there didn't get me filled where I wanted to be filled. So didn't take a lot of profits there. I went long on this pop here. I seen it was a higher low. Just going off of that bullish bias, I was saying that I was biased to the upside, and I also said on my live stream that maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have been. Maybe I shouldn't have been. Usually when if I develop a bias, that's not good. I just need to respond. Let the charts do what it does and then respond to it. So I did take a long, and I was stopped out of that long on this big white candle here. My white candles are my seller's candles. They are not red, they're white. I changed them that way. And it was either that white candle or these two white candles. Wherever it was, I went long somewhere in here, stopped out. Actually, I think it was with these candles. Stopped out, did not work. So I ended the stream. And right when I ended the stream, I realized that when I was ending the stream, I realized that we probably wanted to go lower and that my bias, like I said, was wrong. Reason being is because the moving averages were flat here. There was a cluster. The VWAP was flat and we crossed below. We didn't cross, but the moving averages started pointing downward, letting me know that selling pressure was coming in and I probably should be short along with the cloud, it was letting me know that I should be short. So once I ended the stream, I believe I missed this. I missed the flush. I missed this flush here. I wanted to go short, but I missed the flush. We popped back into initial balance. I was doing what I was doing. By the time I was able to look back at the chart, I seen that we had this pullback and I went short somewhere in here. I was short 1 micro and it gave me, I can't remember if I added or not, but I think I was just short 1 micro. And by time we got down here, like it fell and it gave me like 230 or something. Then it was like 250. And then down here, it hit like 299, 300, 303. And once it bounced here again, I just cut it at 150. And that is because I realized that the sellers were keeping it lower, but we weren't going anywhere. You know, these, it was just taking us a leg lower, but these lows that we were putting in, we weren't really going anywhere. So that let me know that they were going to try to turn this thing around. That's just from experience, from what I know. And that's what I thought. I could have been wrong, but obviously it played out. So each time, well, once we got here, you know, I kept thinking, okay, this was the higher low. Let me see how it plays out. And then I thought this was the higher low. I mean, the lower low that was going to send us higher. And then once we put this in and we started to go, I was like, yeah, I wanted to cut it here. It pulled back down on me. And once we put in this green candle here, like that doji, this candle right here, I was like, yeah, it's time to get out. And the next candle kind of confirmed that it was time to get out. So I cut the trade before this candle right here was able to finish forming. And I realized that I needed to be bullish. Actually, it was this candle here that I realized that I needed to be bullish and that they were flipping the sentiment. That candle mixed with the lows, mixed with the indicators, it was just telling me we got a small bearish cycle here where the bears really didn't have that much power. This bull cycle didn't push us anywhere, but this cycle here didn't push us anywhere, but it held price above this area where sellers could not push it below. So after that, and then a smaller cycle came in along with just sitting in a trade and not really, just a leg lower, not really going anywhere. All that was telling me that I needed to flip my trade. And so I did. And on this candle here, when we pushed above the moving average and the moving averages crossed and we broke above this kind of sloping resistance line we made, I went long. So I went long and I took that trade up into the 100-day moving average. That's where I wanted to hold it to. I got out there. I was waiting till we broke above there. We broke above it. And I believe I took this quick scalp here. I started putting on 2 contracts. I put 2 contracts on and I was going for the VWAP from here to VWAP because that's where I wanted this trade to go, or initially was VWAP. But I said once we get to the 100-day moving average, we could find some resistance because of, if we look left, we have resistance, and because it's a 100-day moving average, unless we have, you know, sometimes we could just push through it if we have a lot of power. But I was thinking that we could potentially reverse from there or spend some time there. So I went on ahead and locked those profits in. Once we pushed above it, I took the rest of that scalp up to here. And once I seen it pulling back, I just got out of it, knowing that we could either we could pull back to go test the VWAP, or we could pull back even further to this level to test it, or, you know, back below even further than that. I wasn't sure what it was going to do, so I was just taking my gains as I was going. Once it pulled back and we got this bounce, let me know that bulls were still in. I took the scalp and I got out on this big candle once we pushed above the VWAP and closed above it. I waited for this pullback, scalped that up, and then I scalped this last piece here. 2 contracts each scalp, and got out right at the top of that candle, which I was excited about. I was happy about that. I was my speculation was that they wanted to close price above, or at least go test yesterday's close, try to close above it, and potentially test yesterday's high, but I didn't care if they closed above it or tested yesterday's high, because since it was like 350. Yeah, it was like 350 already. As soon as we popped above that and this candle opened and got a high, I got out of it as soon as that candle started to push. And so that was the end of the day, and that put us at $839. And so overall, I'm happy with that. I'm extremely happy with that. I'm happy I didn't get caught up here and I didn't try to fight with the markets. I just traded the strategy that I wanted to trade. My trade was valid from the pre-market session, but once we got here, this candle right here invalidated my trade. Invalidated my long trade. And so I had to get out there, and I tried to go long again because I had a bias, but which I don't know why, because I'm a perma bear, but following the market sentiment for the last 3 days. So we had kind of a cool off today. We sold off about 10:54 until about 1:30. At 1:30 we turned around and we ran all the way up until the close of markets. And if you were patient today, if you were careful and just let the markets come to you, then there was 1 and 2 great opportunities to take advantage of. And so I'm happy today that I did so, and I got back some of those losses from Friday. So this has been fun. Today was a day I'm really excited. I'm really happy about. It was fun today trading the way I did. Just holding the trade longer, not scalping in and out, in and out, in and out. It really was. It was fun. It was how I like to trade. Not in it. It wasn't like less emotional and just not too much. No over trading, none of that. Just following the process. And so today was a fun day. And thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Trade well. Peace.